Welcome to my shave today. It's October 25th, 2024. I just came back from walking in the woods, and here we're in Maryland. We're in full fall season. Some of the leaves are down, lots of colors. And while walking, the smell of the leaves in the sun really reminded me of the smell of this soap, which is Darkfall by Declaration Grooming. This has more of a burnt leaf smell to it. I don't know if people burn leaves anymore. They certainly did when I was a kid. That was a big event, was to take all of the raked leaves in our suburban area, put them in a pile in a fire pit and burn them. So I'm going to get going. Today I have, I'll be using my second Puma. This Puma has a, here I'll show you I'm showing you the show side. This Puma has a cuticle edge on it that I put on it. Probably the best edge I've had off of my cuticle. I'm not a cuticle expert like the Cajun Blade, Eric. I have had several of them in the past. One I currently have. I feel like I'm still learning. And I admit that with all natural stones, I think it's each of them has a personality, and I'm always learning. So let's get going. I'll show you the brush in a second. Here I'm using a Sears Badger brush. This is a high Manchurian white Badger knot. I'm loading from the tub as usual with a only semi-wet brush. I squeeze most of the water out of it. The idea that I'm trying to do is you can see the mess I'm making, but what I'm really trying to do is build a paste, put most of the paste into the brush so that I can build the lather on my face by normally adding a little bit of water. And the nice thing about this procedure is if I overdo the water in the brush, then I have a very wet lather that comes directly off the brush. The one thing I'm mostly concerned with wetness and slickness. I'm not concerned at all with aesthetics of this lather. The pre-shave, the people's pre-shave that I do is, again, not the purpose of this is not to build a lather. It's to work a very, very wet, slick emulsion into the skin and beard. This is super, super slick. You could easily shave with this. And it's my first layer, really, for the shave. The Sears, Brad lives in Maryland here. He's a little older than I am. I think he retired a couple years ago, but I contacted him and bought a couple of brushes from him. Really, really talented. Beautiful craftsmanship. I don't know. I know he doesn't tie these knots himself. I don't remember who he was getting them from, but they're excellent, excellent Badger knots. I mean, these are, you don't see a lot of the Sears in the hobby, in the younger folks in the hobby, but boy, while he was making these, a lot of people missed out. All right, super slick, super wet. The Declaration Grooming. Base here is very, very good. Hang on, I'm gonna pause and adjust my towel. Okay, I'm back. Sometimes if I haven't showered right before shaving, the towel doesn't stay around my waist very well. So I'm gonna change up my pattern a little bit today. I do this on occasion. This conical edge is really, really comfortable. A little less keen than my J-net edges or my synthetic edges, but that's okay. The more you do this, the more experience you get in straight shaving, at least from my perspective. The more experience you get, the more you should be able to adapt to different conditions. In particular, if you get a collection of razors going, expect each of them to be different. And so before you decide which ones you like and which ones you don't like, or before you put emphasis on one thing, like the type of edge, get to know the razor, figure out what the geometry is like. You know, I showed you how to do the geometric shaving angle. Take a look at that. Spend some time with using the razor in different ways to see which way it shaves best. If you have a large collection, that's a lot of fun. I do have a reasonably large collection, not terribly large. But that's a lot of fun. That's something that's worth doing. Is to learn to adapt. I don't have a lot of straight shaves since I started counting. I only started counting and being nerdy about straight shaves in about 2 years ago. In that time, I have about 670 straight shaves. And I can tell you that, and I'm paying attention, or trying to, within whatever limits I have, I'm paying attention. And I can tell you that by doing this kind of thing, by expecting to adapt to the razor instead of comparing a razor as is with a set technique, by adapting technique, it's really expanded both my skill and my ability to enjoy a variety of razors. First step in that I would suggest is to learn to get a great shave, from a wedge, and a great shave from like a 6/8 wedge and a great shave from a 6/8 hollow ground. And then, you know, an 8/8 razor and a 4/8 razor. And don't be too concerned if the edge is sharp. You should be able to get a shave. So don't be concerned with hyper focus on the edge itself, because I can hand you a knife that you can shave with that's sharp enough to shave with. I can hand you a knife that you can whittle hair with. That's actually not that important. It's how you use that edge that gets you the result that you're going to get from that device. So let's move on. I hope I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. For a moment there, I thought I wasn't recording. So yeah, the other thing that I think is interesting about straight shaving, and again, I've only been a nerd at this for a short time. I did teach myself to straight shave with both hands a long time ago, but the difference between what I do now and what I did then is night and day. And I actually consider now that I've only really been an avid straight shaver since I started being nerdy about it. I'm so much better, so much more knowledgeable now than I ever was before, that it's kind of like night and day. So I only consider important the ones that I've counted. As I said, I'm around 670 in those 2 years. By doing what I'm doing today, just tinkering, I have really learned a lot. Focusing on the system, shaving, the brush, how to use a variety of different bases, all of that makes the 15 minutes that I typically shave, well, like 20 when I make a video, but it makes the typical shave that I have interesting. You know, it puts my attention on it, and it makes it interesting. All right, let's get going here. So as I said before, I'm just doing my basic 2-pass pattern, but I'm doing each quadrant. I divide the face into quadrants, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I guess. So whatever the 5 version of quadrant is, quintrant, something like that. Anyway, I just divide my face into sections, and then sometimes, like today, I do them in a different order. I do the same pattern, but in a different order. And sometimes I learn from that. Sometimes I don't. I will say, this cuticle edge is super comfortable. Absolutely sharp enough. Which is what got me started on the last diatribe. Sharp enough is all you need. If you can shave with I saw Martin shave with a hatchet today. You can shave with a hatchet, which will have, no matter how you've honed it, it will have an extraordinarily wide bevel angle compared to a razor. If you can shave with that, you can shave with a variety of edges with a straight razor. All right, let's do this thing here. I get a lot of questions from people starting out, and first of all, I really appreciate that you feel that you have enough trust to ask me these questions, and I try to answer you authentically from my own experience. I'm not an expert on anything. I don't shave other people. I only shave myself, so I try to give you the best information I have. I always point people to Dapper Shave's channel, Jacques, and the reason I do is, well, two reasons. The first is that he's set out his channel to be educational on straight razor shaving and honing. I happen to think he does a terrific job of that. And then secondly, much of what I found on my own about preparing lathers and shaving angles and so on happens to agree with what he promotes. So you know, from my perspective, he's doing it the right way. But in the end, in reality, you have to find your own way in doing this, which is part of the fun. But he has a lot of very good content. So I point people to that. But I also appreciate that I get questions on like what to do, simple things, and I do try to answer them. In the typical way that you know, from my own experience. And I do think if you're starting out and you're counting, I suggest you count. And I do suggest that for the first 100 shaves, don't worry about it. Try to really develop a nice smooth technique that gives you a comfortable shave. Don't worry at all about closeness. Try to get a comfortable shave first. Get good coverage. Learn how to get a lather that allows you to set the razor down and slide it smoothly across the beard. And after 100 shaves, or sometime during that first 100 shaves, I almost guarantee you what you're going to find out. What you're going to find as you just let your technique develop, let it be the way it's going to be, try to improve it, be smooth, gentle, light touch. What will happen is you're going to get a feeling for that apex. And as you get a feeling for that apex and how it cuts, there will be a period of time, like 2 or 3 days, where the quality of your shaves will dramatically improve. And so that, in my experience with helping other people, that's pretty consistent, a pretty consistent event. And so the best way to have that happen, in my view, is just don't worry about it. Let it happen. Don't worry about the more you worry about getting, you know, a DS/BBS shave within your first 100 shaves, the more likely you are to irritate your skin and cut yourself. So let it come to you is my advice. And I think you'll be extremely happy with that approach. You do have to be patient. That's the only drawback. All right, I've dried off the razor here. I'm going to rinse, come back and finish up the shave. Okay. Today I'm using the Mammoth, House of Mammoth, what is this called? This is a Lancaster towel made for House of Mammoth. You know, this is the ultimate, this is the ultimate shaving towel, which I think is, you know, it's the ultimate, almost as good as the plush auto detailing towels that I can buy for about 1/10 of the price. Okay, we are dried off. Let's go with the Darkfall Aftershave Splash here. The scent, this wonderful burning leaves, smoky burning leaves scent. Oh man, it's just really, really nostalgic, really perfect. Good stuff. So let's get this going. Oh man, awesome. Probably some witch hazel in this. I don't feel a lot of, well, I don't feel any burn. It was a beautiful shave. I don't feel any burn. I don't know if there's any alcohol in this or not. There's not a lot of that telltale drying. But man, beautiful shave. Thank you for joining me, staying with me. I got rambling again, so you know, maybe you want to put this on 2x if you watch it instead of normal speed. Anyway, I'm done, and thank you for joining me. Hope you're well. Leave questions in the comments as usual, and I'll see you in the next one.